In today's video, we are going to explore a city that, although it belongs to Spain, it is touching the waters of the Atlantic Ocean, and that's Cadiz. Before we begin strolling around, liking this video would be appreciated, and we highly recommend that you subscribe to our channel as more videos are coming up. General info. The history of Cadiz is very interesting. Cadiz is believed to be the oldest city in Western Europe, as it was created about 3,000 years ago, and the city was named Gator by the Phoenicians. Gator literally translates to stronghold or wall, which shows the importance of the Spanish city. Cadiz has changed hands many times throughout history. It was firstly habited by Phoenicians, who established a port in the 7th century BC. Even foundations of defensive walls from this period have been discovered. An interesting story fact is that what's now the Old Town, it used to be two separate islands, which the Phoenicians called Erythea and Cotinoasa. Later on in 200 BC, the Romans got control of the whole region and the city reached great prosperity in Roman times with the construction of amphitheaters and aqueducts. For a short period, Cadiz became the second most populous city in the empire. 600 years later, the Visigoths conquered the land, and around 711 AC, the Moorish got in charge. In 1217, the city got attacked by the Frisian Crusaders during the Holy Land Campaign, and finally Cadiz became Spanish in 1262 under the reign of Alfonso X. If you wonder why so many cultures wanted to take control of Cadiz, you must only check the city out on a map. It is the last port before going into the Atlantic. The city grew ever more during the Age of Exploration, during which seafaring Europeans explored and colonized regions across the globe. The famous explorer Christopher Columbus sailed twice from Cadiz, and the city also became the home base of the Spanish treasure fleet. Throughout its history, the port of Cadiz has faced many attacks, both from crusaders and from the Anglo-Dutch forces that wanted to take advantage of this unique place, with the famous Battle of Cadiz in 1702. The Napoleonic Wars also had targeted Cadiz, but the city managed to resist the attack, and Cadiz became the country's capital, where the government and the military decisions were made. Culture. But enough with the attacks and the wars. We just wanted to point out the importance of the city, and upon visiting Cadiz, one can find signs of many cultures and events. Locals refer to Cadiz as Tacita de Plata, or Little Silver Cup. The reason behind this nickname is open to speculation. Some believe it's because of the silvery hue of the seawater. Others think it refers to the shape of the bay on which the city sits. And others say it's because locals would drink coffee from fine silver cups. The historic city center is alive with tourists throughout the year, since there is so much to do in sea. We can stroll along the beautiful bayfront to admire the sailboats, fort, and rugged wall, or through the tree-lined green space decorated with traditional tiled benches that nestle nicely under humongous rubber trees. Gazebos donned with tropical plants adorn the area, surrounded by tranquil water features and picturesque fountains and bridges. Let's have a look at some other points of interest in the city, starting with a piece of art. Cadiz Cathedral, with its gorgeous golden dome, is easy to spot from most parts of the city. Built between 1722 and 1838, it took over 112 years to complete, and is a mix of neoclassical and Baroque styles. It is considered to be the new cathedral, since it replaced the older one that was built in the 16th century. One of the highlights of the cathedral is the clock tower, which also serves as one of the bell towers. Once on top, it offers spectacular panoramic views of the city, the Atlantic Ocean, the Campo del Sur, the seafront promenade, and the harbor. Visiting the Cadiz local market is a great way to blend in with the locals who come to pick up the freshest seafood, fruits, vegetables, cold meats, cheese, and other products at bargain prices. Breathe in the smells from the flower stalls or pick up snacks to hold you over until dinner time, which is typically late in Spain, 9 p.m. or later. Not far from the market is the Tavera Tower, one of 126 towers spread out throughout the city. Once used as watchtowers for the port, the many towers around the city now serve to offer tourists and locals the best view of the city and waterfront. But Tavera Tower has a cool feature that makes it special. At the top of the tower is a camera obscura, a room equipped with a set of optical lenses and mirrors that allows visitors to see the entire Bay of Cadiz as a spectacular panorama. If you plan on heading to Cadiz for its crazy carnival festivities, a costume is a must. Spaniards flock to Cadiz, donning costumes that poke fun of anything from current events to politicians, celebrities, and even institutions. Nowhere else can you see a group of male nuns drinking in the streets alongside bird flu chickens. Things to see. There are also some other points of interest in the town worth visiting. Starting with the large, authentic market in Plaza Libertad, which is filled with stall after stall of fresh fish, meats, and tons of other products. The neoclassical 19th century design, mixed with all the colors, chatter, and people, is a feast for the eyes. Locals and tourists alike browse through the locally grown products, buying their meat or fish for dinner, milling through the many rows of locals selling their wares. It's a great place, and it really gives you a sense of living in a southern Spanish coastal city. Let's keep on walking, but be aware, we are going to see the fortresses. Visit Castillo de Santa Catalina and Castillo de San Sebastian. The two fortresses worth visiting are the Castillo de Santa Catalina and Castillo de San Sebastian. The first one, built in the 1600s, is the smaller of the two that stand like bookends to Playa de la Caleta. The star-shaped structure was built to guard the city against the British and Dutch. Inside the walls, you will find a quaint little chapel and barracks. Other rooms are currently used to house art exhibits. While there is not a whole lot to see inside the fortress, the sweeping views of the ocean and shoreline are spectacular. The other one was built 100 years later in order to defend the northern flank of the city. The 1-mile-long causeway leading to the gate of the castle is best approached during low tide, when the stones and rocks bordering the walkway are visible and reachable. The Moorish-style castle has remnants of a watchtower from the Muslim period. Stroll along Playa de la Caleta Beach. But if you want to relax, visiting the beach between the two fortresses is a great idea. La Caleta sits in the center of two fortresses and amid the rooftop cityscape of Moorish buildings. The main street runs along the beach, filled with modern restaurants and tapas bars. Small fishing boats line the shore and bay, reminiscent of a native fishing community. Locals walk along the beach with their children or enjoy a service of beer at one of the beachfront cafes. La Caleta is a popular metropolitan beach with a unique feel and a great place to relax and take in the seaside Spanish ambience. Food. If you got a feeling in your guts after visiting the fortresses, maybe it's time to reward yourself with the magnificent cuisine of Cadiz. The variety of dishes that comprise Cadiz's traditional cuisine is truly astounding. The culinary variety is due to the amount of quality ingredients that are grown, raised, or caught in the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. We couldn't start the list with another plate, but tortillas de camarones, prawn fritters, a tiny variety of unpeeled shrimp or camaron encased in a batter of chickpea flour, water, salt, and parsley before being fried in plenty of olive oil. The result is a crispy and delicious fritter. Papas con choco is a stew and one of the tastiest dishes of Cadiz's traditional cuisine. It is made with potatoes, pieces of this gastropod mollusk, pepper, saffron or paprika, and a good sherry. Another dish to mention is huevas aliñadas. The fish roe, usually hake, is firstly boiled. Once cooled, it is mixed with diced onion, pepper, and tomato, and seasoned with salt, extra virgin olive oil, and vinegar for the final touch. Fish plays a key role in Cadiz's traditional cuisine. Local fishermen catch many fish, which are then sold to the local community. One of the most highly recommended dishes in the region is the bluefin tuna, which is the star of fish recipes throughout the region. In Cadiz's traditional cuisine, it is served in a wide array of dishes, ranging from a simple sear to atún encebollado, onion-braised tuna stew. Another very famous dish is the pescado frito, a dish of Cadiz-style fried fish that includes many species, such as anchovies, young hakes, plantillitas, baby squid, cuttlefish, wedge soles, kazan, dogfish, prawns, calamari, and more. Last but not least is the kazan on adobo, which is donfish marinated in sherry vinegar, sweet paprika, salt, and oregano, and then battered and fried in olive oil. For the juiciest bites, it is best served sliced instead of cubed. Cadiz's traditional sweets. Let's finish this taste adventure with some desserts. Like in many parts of Spain, Cadiz's traditional pastries consist of recipes handed down from convents, and prior to that, Al-Andalus cuisine. Some of the most popular sweets and desserts are pastinos, which are flour dough infused with toasted sesame seeds and then fried in olive oil and sweetened with honey. Huesos de santo, saint's bones, are marzipan rolls made with egg, almond, and sugar, and then filled with assorted flavors: egg yolk, coconut, chocolate, turin, strawberry, and finally biscottella, a pastry filled with spaghetti squash jam or other sweet preserves. and the outside is then covered in a glaciate to create a meringue appearance. Excursions. For the lovers of exploring, there are some great options regarding the excursions. Starting with a visit at the famous British city of Gibraltar and the Boulogne Beach, considered one of the most beautiful in Spain. Spot the only wild primate in Europe. Gaze at Africa from Europe's southernmost point. Explore an ancient Roman archaeological park, and take in the stunning natural scenery of the Cadiz coast. Setno de las Bodegas is another great option for an excursion, where we can absorb the history and culture of Cadiz on a daily trip. Torronda is one of Spain's most stunning villages, known for its bullfighting tradition and its historic bridge connecting the old and new town. Enjoy a visit to the picturesque village of Setno de las Bodegas, marveling at its peculiar architecture and the houses built into caves. Another excursion not to be missed is discovering of the birthplace of the flamenco dance. Delve into ancient gypsy culture, dance, and music, wandering through Jerez's flamenco neighborhoods. Discover the ways that the dance began and became the world-famous tradition it is today. Engage with the local gypsy community and get together to sing, dance, and play. See an authentic flamenco show featuring famous singers, dancers, and musicians. Thank you for visiting Cadiz with us. We really hoped you enjoyed it. Liking this video is important for us, and as there are more videos coming up, consider subscribing to our channel and get ready to explore more places.